Thermal analysis. Introduction. Thermal analysis, which incorporates those techniques in which some physical parameter of system is determined or recorded as function of temperature. Types of thermal analysis. Based on the definition, we are summarized some types of thermal analysis. First one, thermogravimetric analysis or thermogravimetry, differential thermal analysis, differential scanning calorimetry, derivative thermogravimetry, thermomechanical analysis. In this session, we are discussing thermogravimetry and differential thermal analysis only. First one, thermogravimetry. It is a method of thermal analysis in which changes in physical and chemical properties of a substance is measured as a function of temperature or function of time. This is the definition for thermogravimetry. Sample size is vary with few milligram to 10 milligram is used for studies under thermogravimetric analysis. These studies may conducted in up to 2000 degrees Celsius, and by this method only solid samples are analyzed. It is used to determine sample purity and study of oxidation, dehydration and decomposition reactions. Types of thermogravimetry. First one, static or isothermal thermogravimetry. In this method, sample weight is recorded as function of time at constant temperature. Second one, quasi-static thermogravimetry. In this method, sample is heated to constant weight at each of the series of increasing temperature. Third one, dynamic thermogravimetry. In this method, sample is heated in an environment whose temperature is changing at linear rate in a predetermined manner. Most of the studies are carried out with dynamic thermogravimetry. Next one, principle of thermogravimetry. The sample is weighed continuously as it is being heated to elevated temperature. It is concerned with change in weight of sample as its temperature changes. The sample is heated in a given environment at controlled rate. First, this determines the temperature at which the material loses the weight. This loss indicates the decomposition or evaporation of the sample. Second, the temperature at which no weight loss takes place, which indicates the stability of material. Change in mass of sample is because of different physical or chemical transition. These temperature ranges are physical properties of chemical compounds and can be used for their identification. Then the result is expressed in form of thermogram or thermogravimetric curve, which is a plot of weight change against temperature. So here the reactant is converted into product with the formation of byproduct. The formation of byproduct is responsible for the weight loss. We can explain this by taking the silver nitrate as an example. This is the thermogram for silver nitrate. A typical thermogram that of silver nitrate shown in figure. The curve exhibits two plates AB and CD, that means horizontal lines. or horizontal curves AB and CD, and one inflection, that is BC. The region AB in which the weight remains constant. It is the region in which silver nitrate is stable. At 473 degrees Celsius, the following reaction takes place. Due to loss of nitrogen dioxide and oxygen, the weight decreases from B to C. In the region CD, that is, at temperatures above 608 degrees Celsius, metallic silver alone can exist, and there is no further change in weight of the sample. From the thermogram, we inform that silver nitrate is stable up to 473 degrees Celsius. In silver nitrate thermogram, we can see only one curve for weight loss, but there is more than one weight loss is possible, considering the example of cupric nitrate hemipentahydrate. Here, following reactions will take place. From 100 degrees Celsius to 150 degrees Celsius and 200 degrees Celsius to 280 degrees Celsius, there is a weight loss in a sample. AB, CD and EF, these are the horizontal lines, and there is no loss of weight. And you can see here the formation of cupric oxide will take place. By this thermogram, we confirm that the formation of cupric oxide is stable up to the 950 degree Celsius. The next one is instrumentation. This is the additional thing I am going to discuss in this session. Thermogravimetric curve are recorded using thermobalance, that is, precision balance, which is programmed for linear rise of temperature. We call it as thermobalance. A good thermobalance has some criteria. It should be capable of recording continuously the weight changes of the sample as function of temperature and time. The furnace should reach the maximum desired temperature with commercial thermobalance. This is about 1500 degrees Celsius and sample measured accurately as possible. The rate of heating should be linear and reproducible. The balance mechanism should be protected from the furnace and from the effect of corrosive gases. The balance should be sufficiently sensitive for studying small sample weights. The thermobalance consists of recording balance, sample holder, furnace, temperature controller and recorder. This is the block diagram for thermogravimetric instrument. Recording balance. It should be simple to operate and versatile, and it is used to record a change in mass of sample. Recording balances are two types. First one, deflection balances. Deflection balances are also few types. First one, beam type. In this balance, conversion of deflected beam take place into weight change. Helical type, elongation or contraction of spring occur with change in weight, which recorded by transducer. Quartz fibrae used as a spring. Cantilevered beam, In this type of balance, one end of the beam is fixed and other end is sample is placed. Torsion wire. The beam is attached to the torsion wire which act as a fulcrum. Second one, null point balances. Null point balance, there should be a sensor to detect the deviation of balance beam from its normal position. Then restoring force of either electrical or mechanical weight loading is applied to the beam to restore its null position from horizontal or vertical norm. This restore setting force is proportional to weight change, and this force is recorded directly. Sample hold. Sample is to be studied placed in a sample holder or crucible. It attached with wing arm of recording balance. The crucibles made from platinum, aluminium, alumina or quartz, stainless steel, etc. The crucibles are maybe following types: shallow pans, deep crucible, loosely covered crucibles. The shallow pans used for to study the diffusion rate of the samples. Deep crucible is used for industrial scale calcination, and loosely covered crucibles are used for self-generated atmosphere. And the another type of crucible is also exist, that is retort cup, which is used to study the boiling points of the sample. Furnace. It is used to produce heat with linear range. It should have hot zone which can hold sample and crucible, and its temperature corresponds to the furnace temperature. Temperature controller. Thermocouple is used, and its measuring relative to position of sample holder. It placed either in contact with sample or with sample holder is the best arrangement of sample temperature detection. Recorder. The output from the microbalance and furnace are recorded using either XY recorder or photographic paper recorder. In XY recorder, we get the curve having the plot of weight directly against temperature. Application of thermogravimetry. Determination of purity and stability of primary standard. Thermogravimetry is a valuable technique for assessment of purity of materials. Analytical reagent, especially those used in titrimetric analysis, is a primary standard, that is sodium carbonate, sodium tetraborate and potassium hydrogen phthalate have been examined by this method. Determination of drying temperature of precipitate in gravimetric analysis. Plot of weight of precipitate against temperature known as pyrolysis curve. This is the curve for silver chromate. Pyrolysis curve for silver chromate. Weight represents the loss of excess wash water above 92 degrees Celsius. The weight becomes constant and remains so till about 812 degrees Celsius. From that to 945 degrees Celsius, oxygen is lost. The loss in weight show that decomposition proceeds according to the reaction. The residue is the mixture of silver and silver chromite. These precipitate used for gravimetric estimation of chromium and may be dried at any temperature between 100 degrees Celsius and 800 degrees Celsius, say at 110 degrees Celsius. Analysis of mixture. Thermogravimetry is used to determine the composition of binary mixture. For example, determination of calcium and magnesium in a mixture of their oxalates. Next one, study of organic compound. When the decomposition of malonic acid was studied by thermogravimetric technique, it was found that the phase transition occurred in a region of 70 degrees Celsius with melting at about 140 degrees Celsius, and it is followed by the decomposition above 150 degrees Celsius. Next one, study of polymers. Thermogram provide information about decomposition pattern for various polymeric preparation. These decomposition patterns are characteristic for each kind of polymer and can be used for identification purpose. Next one, used in the study of catalyst. The change in the chemical state of the catalyst may be studied by thermogravimetric technique. For example, zinc chromate is used as a catalyst in synthesis of methanol can be studied by thermogravimetric technique. This is about thermogravimetric instrumentation and application. And the next thermal method, that is differential thermal analysis, or we abbreviated as DTA. Principle. Differential thermal analysis is a method for recording the difference in temperature between a substance and an inert material as a function of temperature. This is the definition for differential thermal analysis. The heat is absorbed or emitted by a system is observed by measuring the temperature difference between that system and an inert reference compound, as the temperature of both are increased at a constant rate. If the sample does not undergo any physical or chemical changes, then there is no temperature difference between the sample and the reference. If any reaction takes place in the sample, then the temperature difference will occur between the sample and the reference material. If sample absorbs the heat, then the temperature of reference will be higher than that of the sample, and its endothermic change, delta T, will be negative. On the other hand, if the sample emits the heat, the temperature of sample will be higher than that of the reference, and it is exothermic change, delta T, will be positive. By plotting differential temperature against time or reference temperature or sample temperature or furnace temperature gives differential thermogram. Here, physical or chemical changes may be endothermic or exothermic. Physical endothermic changes include fusion, sublimation, vaporization, absorption, desorption. And physical exotherm include adsorption and crystallization. Chemical endotherm include reduction, dehydration, decomposition. Chemical exotherm include oxidation, polymerization, catalytic reaction. These are responsible for the endothermic and exothermic changes. From thermogram, nature of sample is examined based on the shape and size of peaks. Sharp endotherm peak gives idea of changes in crystallinity or fusion process. Broad endothermic peaks show dehydration reaction. In general, Physical changes give rise to endothermic curve, but chemical reaction, especially of oxidative nature, give rise to exothermic curve. For example, DTA curve for manganese carbonate. This is manganese carbonate DTA curve. So this is the exothermic peak and this one is the endothermic peak. In this curve, there are two endotherms at 550 degrees Celsius and 900 degrees Celsius and one exotherm at 400 degrees Celsius. This exotherm curve is due to oxidation of carbon monoxide into carbon dioxide, and this two endotherm is due to conversion of manganese dioxide into manganese trioxide and manganese trioxide into manganese tetroxide. Next one, instrumentation. This is the block diagram for differential thermal analysis. This is the furnace. The furnace consists of two chambers. One is sample holder, another one is reference holder. Here, aluminium oxide is used as a reference material, and the sample to be taken in sample holder under investigation. And these are connected with temperature sensor or thermocouples, and the furnace also consists of furnace temperature program. When increase in the temperature of the furnace with linear rate, as long as the sample and reference temperature will be same, there will not be any potential difference between the sample and reference material. However, if any temperature difference between sample and a reference temperature, the potential difference will recorded by temperature sensor, then it fed into the amplifier and output will be recorded on y-axis of the recorder. The furnace temperature is recorded by furnace temperature program, which is connected to the x-axis of the recorder. The DTA curve obtained on the recorder will be a straight line parallel to x-axis if delta T is 0. If delta T is positive, DTA curve exhibit exotherm. On other hand, if delta T is negative, DTA curve exhibit endotherm. First one, furnace. It is with sample and reference holder and with thermocouple assembly. Furnace used for heating the sample. For example, tubular furnace is used in DTA apparatus, which provides smooth heating or cooling at linear rate by changing the voltage through heating component. Second one, sample holder. This is used to contain sample as well as a reference material. Sample holder is fabricated with both metallic and non-metallic material. Sample generally with 1 to 10 mg range is used for analytical application. Third one, furnace temperature controller. It is a temperature sensor that is thermocouple. It made from both nickel and chromium alloys. It is used to measure and control the temperature up to 1100 degrees Celsius in air. If the thermocouple is made by rhodium and platinum, which is used to measure the temperature above 2000 degrees Celsius. Fourth one, amplifier. It amplifies the signal obtained from the thermocouple with low noise circuit. Fifth one, recorder. Signal obtained from sensor can be recorded, in which the signal trade is produced on film or paper as a curve or graph. Application of DTA, study of inorganic substances. DTA has been widely used for studying the thermal behavior of inorganic compounds and complexes such as silicates, ferrites, clays, ceramics, and glasses, metal amine complexes, etc. Study of organic compounds. DTA used for determination of melting point, boiling point, decomposition points of organic compounds such as oil, fats, pharmaceutical and other organic chemicals. Study of polymers. DTA can be used for characterization of polymeric materials in light of identification of thermoelastic changes, thermophysical or chemical changes or transition changes are studied. In analytical chemistry, identification of substances. DTA curves are not identical for two substances. These serve as fingerprint for various substances, for example, clays. Identification of products. Products formed from reactant are identified by their DTA curve. Melting point is easily estimated and purity of compound to be checked by DTA. Qualitative and quantitative identification of minerals can be analyzed by DTA technique. DTA technique used for quality control of large number of substances like cements, soil, glass, explosives, textiles, etc. Analysis of biological material. DTA curve used to date bone remains or to study the archaeological materials. I hope you all understood these DTA and TG technique.